Well, first of all, my name's Cameron Pinsky. And my universal theme is on courage. And so I really want to tell you about a bad situation that happened to me and how I found the courage to walk away. So from your guys' surveys that you all took, about 30% of you have known somebody who's been in a bad relationship or an abusive relationship, and only 2 others have experienced personally an abusive relationship. So the purpose of my story and why I want to share it with you is because 1 in every 3 women experience an abusive relationship or violence in their lifetime. And violence doesn't know any cultural or national boundaries. So this can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter where you live, where you come from. It happens. So my 3 main points that I'm going to go over with you are: what were the warning signs, why I felt trapped, and how I found my courage to leave. So, in any new relationship, it's so exciting in the beginning. You have those butterflies, and you're just super excited about it. And this is kind of what I call the blinding period, where you're just, it's like blinded by love, and you just kind of don't see some of those things that were there. You kind of, you don't want to see them because you're so excited. And these are pretty big, important things that you really need to look at, because they're red flags, they're warning signs, and you should really pay attention and not. Sometimes we just don't do that. One of the biggest warning signs is control. And I definitely overlooked that step in the beginning of the relationship. I didn't realize that it was controlling me, and I don't think I wanted to see it at the time. But the longer the relationship went on, I started to make excuses, especially to my family, to my friends, and I just would make excuses for his bad behavior. And I kind of just kept thinking to myself, it was like a yo-yo period, like it would get better, and then a week would go by and nothing would happen and everything would be fine, it'd be great. So it's just kind of back and forth. And about 1.5 years into a relationship, I found myself into, probably at the moment, I thought it was like the worst thing that could ever happen. I got pregnant. And I was thinking to myself, which in a weird psychological way, like, oh, okay, well, we can make this work. It'll get better. He can grow up. He can do it. And it didn't. It just got worse. It didn't get better, and I started to feel trapped. I started to feel isolated. I got really depressed. And I kind of lived in constant panic of, how was he going to react if I did this? Or it was like walking on eggshells. And I felt like I was losing who I was, and I was confused, and I didn't know how to get out of the situation. So I finally found my courage the day that he became violent towards me, and unfortunately, that's how long it took. So it was kind of a typical night, and it was just an argument, normal, and it escalated. And he kicked me until I was on the ground, choked me. It was a bad situation, but in that moment, I knew that I had to leave, and I could no longer live like this, and so I had to. And plus, I didn't want my son to grow up knowing that his dad would hurt me, and I didn't want him to become an abuser himself. So I just knew we had to get out of it. And it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I know that sounds weird, but I think in the moment or at the time, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make it on my own? How am I going to raise this kid or this baby? And so, but it ended up being one of the best decisions I've ever made. And so because of this experience, I wouldn't be the person who I am today, and I am so much stronger just so much stronger than I ever thought possible that I could be. And I feel like this is a really important story to share, because abuse doesn't affect people because of your economic or your demographics. It doesn't know just because you're poor, you're uneducated, that it happens to you. It happens to people who are very highly educated, who have money. It doesn't know those boundaries. So today I've kind of shared with you the warning signs, why I felt trapped, and how I found my courage to leave. And then, so this is me and my son today. We're happy. He's 12, and this is our trip to Disneyland last summer. And let's see. Oh, this is us with Lightning McQueen. And then we went to the beach. So, anyway, thank you for allowing me to share my story.